Welcome back. If you are joining us, welcome for the first time. If this is your first time doing yoga, I know sometimes when you want to try something new but don't really know how to navigate through that situation, it's tough. So, this beginner's class is for you. This is a reminder that this is your body and your breath. So, if I ever cue anything that does not call to you or does not feel good in your body, please honor that. Listen to that little voice inside you, that intuition. And we're going to go ahead and get started today in an easy seat, right foot in front of left. Shutting the eyes down here. Letting the day move away from you. Letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears. And the crown of your head lifts towards the ceiling. I want you to bring your awareness to something outside of your yoga space. So maybe if you're like me, you have some lawn workers working outside, some landscapers, cutting the grass, so I hear that. Maybe some cars driving by. Maybe you hear the wind rushing against your window pane. Can you bring that awareness to something inside of the room? What do you hear? Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's the tick of a clock. Can you bring your awareness to your breath and your body? Noticing the natural cadence of your breath, how it makes your belly rise and fall. When you look deeply into yourself, breathing as consciously as possible, you allow the universal energy within yourself to rise and acknowledge what's inside. Yoga asks you to make peace with the deepest, most terrifying parts of yourself. Can you bring your awareness to your breath, your body, inhaling big full breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, filling the belly, filling the lungs, letting the collarbone expand for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling through the mouth, let something go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, full breath on your own count. Exhale. If you're looking for a grounding practice today, you have the options to place both palms on top of the knees. If you're ready to receive all this beautiful energy me and you are about to create, go ahead and place the palms towards the ceiling. If you're ready for that introspective practice, place one palm onto heart center and the other palm underneath the low belly, feeling that prana or energy or breath inside yourself. Can you choose to dial into your breath? Inhale, big belly breath, fill the belly, fill the lungs. This time we're sealing the mouth and letting the heat escape through both nostrils. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the collarbone expand, sealing the lips and letting the heat escape through both nostrils. Same intensity, fill the belly, fill the lungs, as if you're fogging up a glass or a mirror. Create a slight constriction in the back of your throat. This is your Ujjayi Pranayama, or your victorious breath. This breath is meant to build heat within your body, always having the option to let that breath go by simply opening the mouth and exhaling through the mouth. I invite you to set an intention for today's practice, whether that's something or someone that inspires you. Maybe it's a memory that makes you smile inside. Maybe it's a goal that you're working towards. Whatever it is, think of this intention. You'll often be thinking and coming back to it on your mats. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release both palms onto the knees, and then start to create little circles with your neck. Starting to move in semicircles, letting the chin hang down. And then maybe inviting those circles to become more grand, moving clockwise. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Finding any sticky spots in that neck that maybe need a little bit more attention, can you send your breath to that spot? On the next inhale, start to invite the shoulders into the party, moving in clockwise directions. Really just entering our body here, getting it ready, warming it up. Maybe switching the direction to counterclockwise. And then on the next inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, gaze is in between the thumbs. Plant both palms together. Maybe coming in for a slight back bend here, gaze is towards the thumbs. And then exhale, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips, bringing the palms all the way down to the earth, sending the gaze towards the mat. Taking one big inhale here, as you fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, can you sink your chest closer to the earth? Simultaneously pressing the earth away from you, sending your sits bones towards the ground. Take one more expansive breath through the lungs here. And then exhale, walk the palms close to the body. Switching the direction here, bringing the left foot in front of the right. Letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears, the crown of your head lifts towards the ceiling. Planting both palms onto the knees and then starting to invite the neck to create a little bit of movement. First moving in a clockwise direction. And then if it feels good, switching the direction to counterclockwise. And then inviting the shoulder blades to the party, moving backwards. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. On our next inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Gaze is in between the thumbs, maybe taking a slight back bend here. And then exhale, sending the chest down towards the earth. The palms come flat, gaze is towards the earth. Seeing if you can push the earth away from you, sending your sits bones closer towards your mat. Taking one full breath here, inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, can you lengthen the spine and sink a little bit deeper? Reaching forward, chin comes down towards the chest. Inhale, walk the palms back to the body. And then bring both palms in front of you, finding a neutral tabletop pose. In this neutral tabletop, our wrists are directly underneath our shoulder blades, knees are hips width distance apart underneath our hips. We untuck those toes, drop the belly low, gaze is high to the sky. We're in a cow pose. In this cow pose, you're sending your tailbone towards the ceiling as if there's an imaginary string pulling it forwards. Your chest and chin reach for the stars. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gaze is to the navel, protract in the shoulder blades, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly low, gaze is high to the sky, opening up for this cow pose. As if there's an imaginary string on both of your shoulder blades, really pulling that outer rotation, sending your chest forward. Exhale, can you ground down into those palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel, protract in the shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the belly low, gazes high to the sky, cow pose. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel, cat pose. Inhale, coming back to neutral tabletop, bringing our left fingertips to trace the right hand, and then lifting up, finding a modified opening in the chest. Gazes to the left fingertips here. You're pushing the earth away from you with this right palm. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, opening the chest here, goalposting the arms, finding a mini heart opening. Take one more breath. And then exhale, coming back to neutral. Then bringing the left palm to thread underneath the right, bringing the left shoulder blade onto the earth. We're in thread the needle here. If this is enough for you, you can always stay. If you're looking for a little bit more, go ahead and bring the right palm behind you to create a little clasp in between the thigh and hip joint. If this shoulder stretch isn't enough for you and you're looking for a little bit more, can you ground down into this left palm and start to rise the right foot off the earth? Dorsiflexing in this right fin, sending the toes towards the earth to square off the hips. Taking one big inhale here if you're trying to balance, engage in the core to find a strong foundation. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, slow and controlled, right foot comes down to the earth. Right palm comes in front of the face and then lifting up for that counter stretch. Left palm high to the sky. And then left palm comes down to meet the right. We're in that neutral tabletop. Running through one cat-cow to reset in the body. Drop the belly low, gazes high to the sky. Bolster your heart towards the stars. Exhale, ground down into those palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel. Inhale, coming back to neutral. Right palm traces the left and then lifting the chest open to the opposite direction. Taking one expansive breath here through this right lung. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, goalposting the arms, finding a slight heart opening here. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, back to neutral. Right palm threads underneath the left, bringing the right shoulder blade to meet the earth for thread the needle. If this is enough of a shoulder stretch for you, you can always stay. If you're looking for a little bit more, maybe this left palm comes behind you to create a little clasp in between the thigh and hip joint. Maybe you start to engage in the core, lifting up this left leg, pointing the toe towards the earth to square off the hip, grounding down into the top portion of our palm, taking one big inhale here. And then exhale, slow and controlled, bringing this left foot towards the earth. Left palm comes in front of the face, finding that counter stretch. Right palm comes high to the sky. And then exhale, coming back to neutral tabletop. In this neutral tabletop, I want you to take a look at your alignment one more time. Paying attention to these architectural lines, wrists directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees underneath the hips, about hips width distance apart. Tucking those toes. And then just for a moment, we're going to rise 2 inches off the earth. We're in a lifted tabletop. The reason why I want you in this lifted tabletop is so you can feel how important alignment and foundation is. If your alignment and foundation was all jacked up, this would not feel very good. So can you push the earth away from you, slightly protract in the shoulder blades, take one big inhale here. And then exhale, sending your glutes towards the sky, sending the heels towards your mat. We're creating an inverted V shape with our bodies, downward facing dog or Ardha Mukha Svanasana. In this downward facing dog, our feet are hips width distance apart. Our palms are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. We're sending our chest and heart towards the thigh, and then our gaze is in between the ankles. We're elongating the neck. Can you find 5 deep breaths in this downward facing dog? If you suffer from lower back issues, create a slight bend in those knees. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. One more breath in this downward facing dog. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Our last breath in this down dog. Inhale, active listening. We're sending those heels towards the sky. And then exhale, can you sink a little bit deeper towards the earth? Gaze is in between the palms, slow and controlled. Can you tiptoe all the way to bring the feet towards the wrists? Taking your time to tiptoe, coming in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Feet are hips width distance apart. Palms are on the earth. And then inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, halfway lift. In this halfway lift, we're creating a flat back. Our shoulder blades are melted in towards the back of the wall, and our chin is slightly tilted towards our chest, sending the crown of the head to reach forward. Can you take one big inhale here? Fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, slowly melt down. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, reaching with intention, gazes in between the palms. And then exhale, bringing palms down to heart center. Here in Tadasana Mountain Pose, I want you to come to the top of your mat. Taking a look at your alignment, our toes are open wide, grounded down into the earth. Trying not to buckle our knees here or straightening in the knees. Be really released and calm, but ground down with those toes. Letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears as the crown of your head lifts. Slightly tucking the tailbone in, taking one big inhale. In this mountain pose, fill the belly, fill the lungs. And then exhale, release. Breaking down this sun A. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Reach with intention, gazes in between the palms. Maybe taking a slight back bend here. And then exhale, forward fold, slowly swan diving, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana, creating that flat back shape that we did earlier. Taking one full inhale here. And then exhale, plant the palms, moving the feet back, coming into a high plank. In this high plank, taking a look at our alignment, wrists directly underneath the shoulder blades, ankles above the toes. Here, for the sake of keeping the beginner's mind alive, we're dropping the knees and then tucking the elbows into the ribs, sending the chest and chin down towards the earth. Inhale, slide the chest through, untucking the toes, and then coming into your low cobra pose. Maybe having to adjust a little bit in this low cobra, no worries. The palms are right by those ribs, sending the elbows to magnetize towards one another. A slight tilt in the chin, sending the gaze towards the top of your mat, and then the crown of your head reaches a little bit forward. Taking a few breaths in this low cobra pose. If you'd like to challenge your up level here, maybe you lift those palms off the earth, sending the shoulder blades to magnetize towards one another. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, plant the palms, roll over the toes, bring the big toes together to touch. And then send the chest down, finding Balasana or Child's Pose. In this Child's Pose, your big toes come together to touch. Your knees jet out in opposite directions. Sending your chest down towards the earth, letting the forehead melt down if that's an option for you. I may not call for Child's Pose, but just know that this pose is always here for you if you ever need it. Bringing the crown of the head down towards the top of the room, taking one big inhale here. And then exhale, releasing something that no longer serves you. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, can you sink deep into this Child's Pose? Bringing your awareness back to your breath and back to your body. One more full inhale here. Exhale, plant the palms, walk the palms close to the body, tuck the toes, and then find that inverted V shape or downward facing dog that we did earlier. In this downward facing dog, our feet are hips width distance apart. Our palms are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. Sending the chest down towards the thighs, gaze is in between the ankles, remembering that bending at the knee is always an option here. Inhale, gazes in between the palms. We walk, step, jump, hop, or fly to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana, creating that number 7 with our spine flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, reaching with intention, gazes in between the palms. Maybe taking a slight back bend here. And then exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the palms, high plank. Option to drop down to those knees in this vinyasa if you'd like. If you're with me, I'm tucking my elbows into the ribs, and this time I'm coming all the way down into a Chaturanga Dandasana. Creating a right angle here with my forearms and my biceps. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, melt all the way down onto the belly, untuck the toes, finding that low cobra or upward facing dog. Taking one big belly breath in this low cobra, sending the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release. One more breath, inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Maybe you try lifting the palms off the earth, magnetizing the elbows to one another. And then exhale, plant the palms, roll over the toes, finding that downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. One more sun salutation A here to warm up the body, gazes in between the palms. We're going to move a little bit more quickly, step, jump, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high to low plank. Option to drop those knees down to the earth if you'd like. Knees, chest, chin, 3 points of contact. Slithering the chest through, arcing up, maybe for an upward facing dog this time. In this upward facing dog, the shoelace portion of our feet are down into the earth. Using the palms to push the earth away from you, sending the shoulder blades to melt away from the ears. Slightly tucking that chin here, take one big breath, inhale. And then exhale, rolling over the toes, finding that downward facing dog. Inhale, gazes in between the palms. We look, step, walk, jump, or hop to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Active listening, we're grabbing for this left wrist. And then moving over towards the right side. Can you spiral your chest towards the ceiling? Take one big inhale here. Exhale, can you sink a little bit lower, grounding down into the heels of this right foot? Take one more breath here, yogis, you got this. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, coming back through center. Switching the grips, grabbing the right wrist, and then moving over towards the left side. Can you spiral your heart towards the ceiling? Take one big expansive breath through this right lung. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, can you use your breath as a tool to sink a little bit lower? Grounding down into this left heel, take one big inhale. Exhale, coming back through center. Inhale, maybe take a mini back bend, and then exhale, forward fold, swan dive, leading with the chest. Planting both palms towards the earth, finding your vinyasa, high to low plank. Option to tuck and drop the knees down to the earth. Lifting up for that upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. In this downward facing dog, we're first bringing both feet together. And then inhale, lifting the right leg high to the sky. In this three-legged dog, I want you to bring the toes towards the earth to square off the hips, finding a slight inner rotation of this right thigh towards the earth. Grounding down evenly into both palms here, bending at the knee, and then starting to draw big circles with this right knee. We have synovial fluid in this right hip. Can you move it? Can you get juicy? Maybe switching the direction to counterclockwise. And then inhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, shoulders over wrists, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, cat back, plant the right foot in between the palms. Option to drop this left knee down towards the earth and then open up here for that easy twist. You can untuck the toes or keep them tucked. It's up to you, whatever feels good in your body. Remembering that this is your practice and your time to play. So whatever that you feel, honor that. Gaze is to the right fingertips here. We're goal posting the arms one more time with that inhale to open up the chest. And then exhale, coming back to neutral. Using the core, slow and controlled, we're rising up into this twisted lunge. Our back knee is grounded, our back toe is untucked. Can you open up the palms here, opening up the wings, sending the gaze towards the right fingers? Take one big expansive breath here. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, right palm comes down to the earth. Left palm paints a rainbow towards the ceiling. And then we're cartwheeling this left palm down towards the earth, gazes to the right fingers. Maybe here you stay, or maybe you ground down into this left palm and bring this right foot all the way back, finding a modified half moon pose. Taking one big breath in this modified half moon, gazes towards the right fingertips. And then exhale, plant both palms towards the earth. Tucking both toes, finding your high plank. Tucking the elbows into the ribs, lowering all the way down onto the belly. Upward facing dog or low cobra. And then exhale, bringing the big toes together to touch, sending the chest towards the earth. Finding that child's pose. In this child's pose, taking this opportunity to come back to that intention that you set in the beginning of class. Coming back to the idea of that memory that makes you smile inside. Maybe bringing the crown of the head, the third eye center towards the earth, giving that massage to the third eye. And then when you're ready, inhale, walking the palms close to the body, and then finding that downward facing dog, inverted V shape at the back of your mat. In this inverted V shape, our palms are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. Sending the chest down towards the thigh. Take one big inhale here, both heels lift. Exhale, can you sink them closer towards the earth? Inhale, both feet come together to touch. And then left foot comes high to the sky, three-legged dog. In this three-legged dog, can you draw the left toes towards the earth to square up the hips? Finding that slight inner rotation, grounding down evenly into both palms, sending the chest towards the thighs. And then bending at this left knee, starting to draw circles, maybe clockwise. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Lubricating this left hip, getting real juicy on this left side. Inhale, three-legged dog, point the toe towards the earth. Exhale, give your knee a kiss, knee to nose, round the spine, cat back, crunch it in. Three-legged dog. One more time, left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, engage in the core. And then exhale, left foot comes down in between the palms. Right foot, right knee grounds down to the earth, untucking the right toes. Grounding down into this right palm and then lifting up for that easy twist on the opposite side. In this easy twist, we take one big inhale here. Exhale, goal posting the arms, finding a slight twist, opening in the chest. And then inhale, coming back through center. Slow and controlled, we rise all the way up, using the core, opening up our wings. Can you find a deeper twist, sending the gaze towards the left fingertips? Inhale, lift the belly, feel the core engage. And then exhale, left palm comes behind you, right palm paints a rainbow towards the sky. Bringing the right palm down to the earth, and then bringing the left palm towards the sky. Slow and controlled, if you're ready, Shifting this left foot all the way back, finding that modified half moon. Maybe moving this right palm underneath the shoulder to create a stronger foundation. Shoulders are directly above the wrists here, gaze is in between the left fingertips. Take one big inhale. Exhale, left palm comes down to the earth, finding that high plank. Choosing your journey back to Vinyasa, elbows tuck into the ribs, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog or low cobra, arc the chest through. Exhale, rolling over the toes, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Taking your time here in this down dog, maybe walking your dog out. And then taking one collective breath as a community, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, right foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog. Pointing the right toes towards the earth to square off the hip. And then bending at this right knee, creating circles clockwise. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. On the next inhale, right leg high to the sky, active listening, right heel comes towards left glute, we're scorpion tailing the heel. If that right armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you take this opportunity to square it off towards your mat? Grounding down evenly into both palms, finding that breath. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, right knee towards the nose, round the spine, crunch it in, cat back, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow, make a connection, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the right foot in between the palms. Active listening, we're coming in for a change, bringing the left foot to create a 45-degree angle. And then rising up, bringing both palms high to the sky, finding Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. In this Warrior 1, we're creating a right angle with this right leg. Our back foot is pivoted to 45 degrees. Our gaze is in between the palms. We're letting the shoulder blades melt down the spine. In this Warrior 1, our right heel, if there was a laser behind it, should bisect the left heel. Can you ground down evenly into both feet so you can lip up and zip up through the pelvic floor? You got this, yogis. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, release. One more breath. Control the breath, control the mind. You got this. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, paint a rainbow towards the front of your mat, high to low plank, finishing that vinyasa. Tucking the elbows into the ribs, lowering down. Option to drop to knees, chest, chin, always arc the chest through. And then exhale, bringing the big toes together to touch, coming back to that child's pose. This child's pose gives us an opportunity to reconnect to that breath. And then inhale, walking the palms towards the body, finding that inverted V shape, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. In this inverted V shape, first bringing big toes, or both toes together to touch, and then left foot lifts high to the sky. Pointing the left toes towards the earth, finding a slight inner rotation of the thigh to square off the hips. Grounding down evenly into both palms here, starting to draw those big circles with the left knee. Moving clockwise, and then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left heel towards right glute. We're scorpion tailing that heel. Once again, if that left armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you square it off towards your mat, rounding evenly into both palms? Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, shoulders over wrists. Maybe you give the knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, make a connection, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the left foot in between the palms. We're pivoting this back foot to 45 degrees and then rising up to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 on the opposite side. In this Warrior 1, take a look at your alignment. Left knee is creating a right angle, back foot is pivoted to 45 degrees. Gaze is in between the palms as the shoulder blades melt down the spine. Grounding evenly into both feet, can you zip up through the pelvic floor, sending the navel towards the spine? 2 breaths in this Warrior 1. You got this, yogis. Control the breath, control the mind. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. One more breath. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, paint a rainbow with both palms framing this left foot. And then sending or sweeping this left foot back, finding that high plank. Option to drop down to those knees, tucking the elbows into the ribs, untucking the toes, knees, chest, chin. Sending the chest high to the sky, upward facing dog, pull the chest through. And then exhale, downward facing dog, creating that inverted V shape. In this downward facing dog, first bringing both feet together to touch, and then right foot lifts high to the sky. Scorpion tailing that right heel, hopefully that hips a little bit more open, maybe inviting those circles here. Switching the direction. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the right foot in between the palms. We're moving back into Warrior 1. We've been here before. Back foot is pivoted to 45 degrees. Setting up your alignment before you launch off, engaging in the core, finding that Warrior 1. We're just here for 1 breath. You got this, yogis. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, pivoting this back toe and then bending deeply into this front knee, finding Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2 on the opposite side. In this Warrior 2, can you send the right knee towards the top right corner of the mat? Letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears. Gaze or drishti is in between the right fingertips. Taking 1 big inhale here, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, left palm comes behind you, paints a rainbow for peaceful warrior. We're committing to the bend in this front knee, and then exhale, straightening in both legs, reaching for something you desire with this right finger. Reach until you can't reach anymore, and then come all the way down, transitioning into Trikonasana triangle pose. In this triangle pose, if you have a block with you and you'd like to use it, you're more than welcome. If not, maybe you shorten that stance a bit, or maybe you take this right palm, press it into the shin, and lift the chest a little bit higher. Sending the gaze towards this left fingertip, take 1 big inhale here. Exhale, release. As if your body's in 2 panes of glass, can you slightly tuck the tailbone in? And then inhale, straightening in both legs, finding reverse Trikonasana, reaching behind you. And then exhale, cartwheeling the palms to frame this right foot. Pivoting both toes and shortening the stance a little bit. Our back foot is to a 45 degrees, and then our right toes are facing the front of our mat. We're in a pyramid pose. In this pyramid pose, if this is enough for you, you can always stay. If you're looking for a little bit more, maybe you send your fingertips towards the back of the mat. Can you send your gaze towards this right shin and let the neck hang heavy? With every exhale, can you send the chest a little bit closer towards the right shin? Getting juicy in this right hamstring, taking a few more breaths in this pose. With every exhale, can you sink a little bit deeper, whichever variation that you chose? 1 more inhale here, bringing both palms to frame this foot. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bringing the left foot to meet the right, grabbing opposite elbows, ragdoll pose. In this ragdoll pose, our feet can be hips width distance apart. A slight bend in both knees here. We're finding a decompression in the neck and spine. Can you let the head hang heavy? Can you invite the chest to kiss the thighs? Letting gravity do its work, maybe creating movement here. And then switching the grips, grabbing opposite elbows, moving back and forth. And then when you're ready, planting both palms towards the earth and then sending your glutes down towards your mat. So we're in a Malasana Yogi squat here. So our ultimate goal is to get the toes to be completely facing forward. But if that doesn't work for you today, go ahead and open them up to a first position. If you have that block handy and you'd like to use it, you can go ahead and place it underneath the sits bones, bringing the elbows in towards the thighs, sending the chest high to the sky. Can you use your elbows as tools to lengthen? Sending the crown of your head and chest high, take one big inhale here. Exhale, left palm comes down to the earth, right palm lifts, finding a twist in this Malasana Yogi squat. Grounding down into the sits bones and the heels, take one more big inhale. Exhale, coming back through center. Right palm comes to the ground, and then left palm lifts high to the sky, finding that twist on the opposite side. Remembering that both sides are very different here. So don't be so hard on yourself. Inhale, coming back through center. And then planting both palms towards the earth, finding that forward fold at the top of your mat. From this forward fold, option to come to your vinyasa high to low plank, or option to skip your vinyasa entirely, meeting me in a downward facing dog or that inverted V shape at the back of your mats. In this inverted V shape, we have one more side before we start to slow the heart rate down. Dropping the knees towards the earth, and then coming into a modified hero's pose just for a moment. In this modified hero's pose, bringing both palms into heart center. Taking a moment to find connection to our breath. They say yoga is the bridge between mind, body, and breath. Can we take a moment of gratitude for our capable beating hearts? So many people in this world at this moment do not have the opportunity to be here on their mats. Can we send our breath, our energy, our love? Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs with gratitude. Exhale, release fear, release doubt. Start to blink the eyes open, coming back to that inverted V shape. Downward facing dog. Our palms are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. Our feet are together at the back of our mat and then lifting the left toes high to the sky. Scorpion tailing left heel towards right glute. If that left armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you square it off towards your mat? Drawing circles clockwise and then counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to nose, round the spine, shoulders over wrists. Maybe you give that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Left knee, again, to the nose, round the spine, plant the left foot in between the palms. We're pivoting that back foot and then rising up to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 on the left side. You've been here before, so take a look at your alignment. Our left knee is creating a right angle. Our back foot is pivoted to 45 degrees. Gaze is in between the palms of the shoulder blades melt. Can you send this left hip back towards the back wall? Take one more inhale here. Exhale, pivoting that back toe, opening up to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 on the opposite side. In this Warrior 2, we're sending our left knee towards the top left corner of our mats, letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears. Drishti or gaze is in between the left fingertips. Taking a few expansive breaths here. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, bring the right palm down, left palm reaches behind you for peaceful warrior, bending in the front knee, and then coming back to Warrior 2. Reaching for something you desire with this left palm until you can't reach anymore. And then straightening this left leg, moving into Trikonasana triangle pose on the opposite side. In this Trikonasana triangle pose, option to bring a block on either side of the foot. Or maybe you ground down into this left palm, sending the gaze towards this right fingertip. Taking a few breaths here, tucking the tailbone in as if you're a perfect piece of toast in a toaster. Can you imagine your body into two panes of glass? Taking one breath here, inhale, spiral the chest high. And then exhale, straightening in both legs, reaching behind you, reverse triangle pose. Cartwheeling the palms to frame this left foot. And then shortening our stance, finding pyramid pose. In this pyramid pose, halfway lift. Exhale, sending the chest down towards the left shin, finding that hamstring stretch. Remember, if you have to shorten your stance a lot, it's not a big deal, but I want you to be straight in both of these legs. Sending the chest high, and then can you melt down, finding a flat back, keeping the integrity of the spine? Maybe the palms stay here, or maybe you're looking for a little bit more, sending the palms behind you and sending the gaze down towards the back of your mat. Taking one breath here, inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release. If your left hamstring's talking to you like it's talking to me, take one more big inhale here. Exhale, plant both palms to frame the left foot, and then the right foot comes to meet the left. Grabbing opposite elbows, ragdoll pose, generously bending in both knees here, letting the head hang heavy. Finding a decompression in the neck and spine. We're gonna run through a few We're gonna run through a few lion's breath here. Excuse me, guys. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let something go. Ha. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let an audible breath go. Ha! No judgment on your mats. Plant both palms towards the earth. And then ground down into both glutes, coming into a staff pose. In this staff pose, we're bringing our feet out in front of us, creating that L shape with our body. Here we should be so active in our legs, dorsiflexing the toes, meaning pointing the toes towards the shin, that they should lift off the earth, both heels. Maybe you plant the palms down to the mat. Taking one expansive breath here, inhale, fill up. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, gaze is in between the thumbs. Exhale, lead with the chest coming all the way down, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. In this Paschimottanasana forward fold, I want you to think chest to thigh versus nose to knee. So I want you to keep an up dog quality in your chest, finding the integrity of the spine, flat back. So maybe that looks like this today, and that's totally okay. Maybe you come down a little bit more, challenging yourself. Taking one full inhale here, fill the belly. Exhale, walking the palms back up. Bringing the right knee into the chest, being active in both feet here, so dorsiflexing the left toes towards the shin. Inhale, right palm comes behind you to create a little kickstand behind, and then left palm or elbow comes on the outside of the right thigh. Sending the gaze behind the right shoulder, finding a twist here. Taking your time, using this breath, can you twist a little bit deeper? Twisting from the core versus twisting from the neck. Inhale, fill the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, coming back through center. And then left knee comes into the chest, dorsiflexing this right fin. Bringing the left palm behind us to create a little kickstand. And then right palm comes on the outside of the left thigh. Right elbow, excuse me. And then sending your gaze towards the left shoulder. On the next inhale, can you lengthen in the spine, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper, send the gaze a little bit farther behind the left shoulder. Seeing with every breath if you can twist a little bit deeper, sending the gaze a little bit farther. One more inhale here. Exhale, coming back through center. And then moving the glutes towards the top of your mat. Bringing that imaginary beach ball out in front of you. Using your core, coming all the way down, seeing if you can count all 33 vertebrae. Engaging in the core, taking your time here. Asking yourself if you can take your time, maybe counting all those vertebrae, remembering to breathe, remembering to smile, dorsiflexing in those fins, staying active in the entire body. And then shoulder blades come down to the earth, both knees come into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. And then bringing both feet towards the earth. We're setting up for a few bridge poses here. So in this bridge pose, I'm bringing my fingertips to slightly graze my heels, grounding down evenly into both feet and both palms. On the next inhale, can I lift my hips towards the sky, pushing into the earth with both feet, being active in my legs, but finding a release in those glutes, trying not to squeeze a penny, but instead release. Maybe you bring the palms together to clasp here. Maybe you shimmy the shoulder blades closer in towards one another to find a little bit more of a lift in the chest. Grounding down into both feet. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing those glutes to the earth. And then windshield wiping the knees from side to side. One more back bend of your choice. If wheel pose is in your practice, you're more than welcome to take that. If you're with me, I'll walk us through bridge one more time, bringing the fingertips towards the back of the heels, grounding down into all four corners of both feet, and then rising my hips high to the sky. Remembering to ground down into the feet here, maybe clasping underneath me, shimming my shoulder blades to find a little bit more of a higher chest. Pushing the feet down into the earth, taking one expansive breath here. Exhale, release the breath. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sending the glutes to the earth, windshield wiping the knees from side to side. And then bringing both knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Bringing both heels to set up for legs up the wall. So it's really important here for this inversion. If other inversions are in your practice and you'd like to play, you're more than welcome. If you're with me, I'm sending my low back to the earth. And then sending my toes towards the ceiling, letting all that blood flow down towards my hips. Taking a few deep breaths in this pose, can you ground down into those shoulder blades? Dorsiflex in those fins, being active in those legs. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release. Inhale, bringing the right knee into the chest, letting the left foot drop down towards the earth. And then sending the right knee over towards the opposite side, finding that supine twist. Option to bring the palms out to a T, or maybe negotiating some space, goalposting the arms. Maybe bringing this left palm down towards the right knee to see if you can bring it down towards the earth. Can you ground down evenly into both shoulder blades? One big expansive breath here. Inhale, find the belly breath. Exhale, coming back through center, giving yourself a squeeze. And then sending both heels high to the sky, creating that L shape just for a moment. Bringing the left knee into the chest and letting the right foot drop all the way towards the earth. Left knee comes crossbody over the chest or over the hip. And then opening up the palms to a T, or goalposting the arms. Can you simultaneously ground down in both shoulder blades as this right palm brings the left knee closer towards the earth? And then inhale, coming back through center, bringing both knees into the chest. And then finding a happy baby. So happy baby here is we're coming all the way on our backs, bringing our knees into the armpits, and then maybe grasping the outside of our feet. If that grasp is too far, maybe you grasp on the ankles or on the knees. Maybe rocking back and forth, whatever makes your baby happy. Who am I to tell you? And then moving back and forth. Taking any final poses here before you release all your thoughts, all your inhibitions, all the way down to your mats for your final resting pose. Moving any blocks, any water bottles out of the way, taking up as much space as you need. Shutting the eyes down here. This is what we worked for. This moment of bliss. Our final resting pose, Shavasana. Shutting the eyes down in Shavasana, can you take a full body scan? Relaxing in the crown of your head. Relaxing through the space between both brows. Releasing the crinkle in your nose, maybe bringing the tongue to slightly graze the top of your teeth. And then letting your jaw relax. Your throat is relaxed. Softening in the shoulders, biceps, palms. Softening into the sternum, chest, belly, and hips. Can you relax the thighs, the knees, the calves, and the ankles? Can you soften in the toes and in your thoughts? Slowly starting to blink the eyes open, bringing awareness back to your body. Starting to wiggle the fingers, and then inviting life back into your toes, you give those a little wiggle. Bringing both knees into the chest and then reaching behind you as if you're waking up for the very first time for that good morning stretch. Exhale, giving yourself a squeeze, thanking yourself for showing up on your mats today for self-love and self-care. Boy, does that hug feel good. Give yourself one more squeeze. And then choose either the right side or the left side to fall onto a fetal position using your bicep as a pillow. Remembering that yoga is about controlling the breath, controlling the mind, but also it's about the flexibility, not necessarily in your bodies, but in your life. Can you soften into the wave of life? Can you accept the things that you can no longer control? You cannot control what's going on outside, but you can, in fact, control what's going on inside. Planting both palms into the earth, rising up to a seated position, facing any which way you desire. Bringing the palms together, all this beautiful energy we've created down to heart center. Remembering that gratitude helps us fall in love with the life that we already have. The perfectly imperfect student in me bows, honors, and respects the teachers in all of you. Thank you for joining me for this beginner's flow. Namaste.